So, this is a behind the scenes video for my Elden Ring video that I put out a few weeks ago. I'm doing this because, well, honestly, I worked on this video for like 3-4 months, and it was really hard to not tweet and talk about every cool thing that I learned just to do for this video. So, I don't know, I decided just to make a video of it instead. This is not the first time I've done one of these. I've actually done one before, I just never made it public. But yeah, so the reason I want to do that Elden Ring video is because, well, one, I kind of wanted it to be a surprise for anybody subscribed to me, I guess. I don't know, I thought it'd be funny that nobody would expect an hour-long video essay from the guy that does, you know, Destiny and what do I do? Oh yeah, guides and tutorials. I didn't think anybody would expect that from me, one, and two, I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. I have a lot of knowledge on like video games and you know, opinions and stuff like that, and I think that they're just wasted on my guides and tutorials content. I mean, I like doing that stuff, but I would like to do more than just that. So last year I kinda dipped my toes in the water in terms of video essay with these two videos. If you didn't see them, links will be in the description. And the reception I got for those was pretty good. I was actually very surprised because in the past, when I tried to do opinionated content like that, I couldn't get more than 20 views, but now we're up to like between 300 and 600 views for my video essays, so I'm pretty happy with the reception. So those two were kind of like stepping stones to this one, and as I was playing through Elden Ring, I was just like, I think I could do it. This could be the big one, you know, one longer than 10 minutes. So that's kind of what I decided to do. I actually want to start with the writing of the video. That's kind of what I want to talk about the most, but from a viewer perspective, I don't think that's going to be that interesting, so I'll start off with other things and I'll leave that for last. So there were 5 like must-have things that I wrote down for this video, and only 2 of them made the cut. One of them was cinematic shots. Elden Ring does not have a photo mode for whatever reason. Like, a game that's super pretty as this, and they don't have a photo mode. So I knew I'd have to get a mod. That was the first thing I knew I had to do. The second one was a walking montage of my character and just the background changing because, I don't know, I thought it would look cool. The other one was supposed to be a TikTok style montage. That didn't make the cut. I'll explain why later in the video. And I forgot the last one, but the fourth one was kind of like a calendar section that I kind of just had to rush and make a poorly edited version of in like 3/4 way through the video when I'm talking about the different games that I played that taught me lessons to be able to beat Elden Ring. So starting with the photo mod that I got from, I don't remember his name, I'll put it on screen somewhere. I got from this person. The idea I had was pretty much just turn off the HUD and hit record so I can get cinematic shots. But this actually had a built-in editor. If you don't know what that means, maybe if you played Grand Theft Auto 5 in the past and the Rockstar editor, basically you could set up cameras at different points and then hit play and they would just like move along a rail so you can get cinematic shots. That being in the photo mode made it so much easier to record a lot of this footage. That was a much easier method than what I was planning to do. But because it's a mod and not an official feature, they did have drawbacks. So the main one was that the further the camera got away from my character, it would start breaking the game. So the first stage is just that anything you were looking at, the details would just kind of get a bit less, like it was unrendering itself. And the further away you got, walls would start disappearing, and then you go even further and you can just start seeing through mountains and seeing through the floor of the world, basically. So the hardest thing getting around that was actually putting my character just right outside of the frame before I started recording a shot. The hardest thing was the long range shots. So in every shot for that video, my character is actually standing right off screen where I'm starting. And you can actually see her in one of them, and that's the library shot. When the camera spins around the room and it looks at Pernella. In the background, you can see her just standing there. But yeah, for every one of these shots, I can just like point an arrow at the camera to tell you where my character is. Some of them she kind of casts a shadow, but I was just like, nobody's gonna notice that. So that was the first thing. The second thing was, if you placed more than 2 cameras, it started to again break the game a little bit. So I kind of ended up just doing a lot of point A to point B shots. And you can see it start to break the game when it was the Volcano Manor shot where I go through the lava fall, I spin the camera around, and then I kind of pull it back and it starts going to the right. I'll extend the clip when I'm editing this so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see the houses in the background, the front walls start unrendering themselves and you can see through the houses, but I just kind of cut that out so the viewer wouldn't see that. So yeah, that's kind of a lot of what using this photo mod was like. Just trying to find ways to get around breaking the game but hiding it from the viewer. But I'd still recommend it, so if you want, I will leave a link to this mod. You can download it for yourself. Oh, for the very last shot in the video where my character is sitting at the site of grace and then the camera pans out, that was not supposed to be there. I fucked up the ending of the game. For months, as I was like kind of writing the video in my head while it was playing, it was when you beat the game, if you don't know, spoiler alert, there are 7 different endings. For 5 of those endings, they're relatively similar, and it's you sitting on the Elder Throne. And I beat the game, super happy, whatever, but after the final boss, you're supposed to go and interact with the thing you just killed, and that will trigger the last cinematic. I completed the Rani quest line, and as I was going to it, I saw this thing in the corner, and I was like, oh yeah, summon Rani, sure, let's do that. I don't know what that does, but I finished the quest line, sure, why not? I summoned her, and it changed the ending. I didn't get the ending that I wanted with my character sitting on the throne. That was supposed to be at the end of the video, because it was supposed to, you know, come full circle, me struggling to beat any of the From Software games, and then beating Elden Ring and being Elden Lord. That's what I say at the beginning of the video. This is how I became Elden Lord. That was supposed to get that clip. I fucked it up, and I was super pissed because Elden Ring isn't like other games where you can go and do over the last boss fight just the ending. You have to beat the entire game all over again. So the very last shot of the video was just something that I came up with, and the reason it cuts to black when the camera kind of pans out far enough away is because, like I said, when the camera gets too far, it starts breaking the game. So the camera actually goes through a building at the end of the video, which is why I just cut to black pretty quick. So yeah, that's the whole gist of the photo mode. What else? Oh, the Red Dead and the BloodBorne footage. Those, I did not rip those from YouTube. I actually paid for PlayStation Plus for a month to re-download BloodBorne, and surprisingly, my save file was still there from 10 years ago in the cloud. The irony in that is the whole reason I was showing BloodBorne is because I was just like, hey, I'm getting lost in the game and I couldn't figure out where to go. That's kind of why I uninstalled. 10 years later, I was still playing the game and I couldn't figure out where to go. There's a part where I say the reason I stopped playing is because I got lost in the Forbidden Forest. I couldn't find the Forbidden Forest to show you the footage of it. I was just wandering around for like 45 minutes going, where the fuck is it? I couldn't figure out where it was, so I just said screw it, and I recorded just the intro parts of the game. I will say though, after beating Elden Ring, playing BloodBorne was pretty easy to get around a lot of those enemies. And as for Red Dead Redemption, that is actually Red Dead running on PC. I can't tell you where to get it, but if you want to try it, you know, just look for that, and you'll see how to be able to play the game on PC. It is my favorite game of all time. I had really and truly, there was no reason I had to put it in this video other than because I wanted to. There are tons of other games out there that have great tutorial sections, but I don't know, it's my favorite game, so I decided to put it in there just because. And the little banners that go across the top and the bottom of the screen, I made all of them. Like I said in the video, I'm a graphic designer, so a lot of the assets in this video I made myself. And the reason that they swipe left to right, that's mimicking the Red Dead well, the death screen basically. When you die, it just paints the screen kind of left to right with black before dead pops up. So I did the same thing for the banners when the Red Dead footage comes up. That's a little detail I'm pretty sure no one would pick up on, but I like putting stuff like that in my videos because I don't know, I think it's good and, you know, cool, I guess. Oh yeah, so I guess we're still talking about the photo mode because I just remember something else. For a lot of those shots, I actually went on YouTube and I was looking at how directors shoot movies and the different like camera techniques and what they're called and all of that. I recorded this shot. It's one of my favorite shots I see in movies. Sometimes I guess it's more in like horror movies or thrillers or whatever, that you put the camera in like a liminal space, I think that's what it's called, but you know, a very tight space, and you push the camera down like a hallway or something, and halfway through you just slowly start to rotate it. I love to see that in movies. I love that effect. So that was actually the first thing I recorded, but it did not make the cut, unfortunately, because of the intro to the Volcano Manor. The clips where I have the camera just going through the different doors of the manor, it was either those separate clips and then the one where it pans around the dining room, or that clip. And I chose to go with those three because it showcased more of the house instead of just that one long hallway. And the clip was pretty long. I would have to put that clip and then jump to the part where I, you know, show the camera going outside to show the back of the manor of the lava. And yeah, as much as I like that shot, I thought going with those shorter clips was better. And if I just sped up the clip to make it shorter, then it would kind of lose that effect. I don't know how to put this. I think it would lose that suspenseful effect as it just slowly starts to rotate while it's going down the hallway. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I wish I could have found. I was trying to find somewhere else to fit it in the video, even at the end, but it just, you know, I couldn't find a place to put it. So apart from looking at different camera techniques, I actually had a friend send me a clip from Lord of the Rings. I was telling her about what I was doing with the video. Yeah, she was the only person I talked to about stuff doing this video. She sent me a clip of Lord of the Rings because I've never seen the movie before, and it was a scene where there's this guy with the long white beard and another guy on a horse, and they're riding into this kingdom, and there's a fuck ton of different camera shots. And I actually use a lot of those in the video, so Satan, if you're watching this, thanks. I did use your video for a lot of references, especially the one where it's Red Main Castle in Caelid. I don't know if I will put it in the video because I don't want to get copyright strikes, because Lord of the Rings belong to a big studio, I assume. But it's the one where the camera's behind the rock and then it kind of comes up and then zooms out, and you can see the bridge and the castle in the background, and then there's the water on the right side. There's an exact shot like that in the Lord of the Rings clip where the camera comes up over a hill and then you see the kingdom in the background, so that's where I got that shot from. The next one was the walking montage. That one was kind of hard because I pretty much had to... There were two clips where my character is walking through water and you can't see her feet. I was lining up all of these clips by just completing the walk cycle animation from looking at her feet. Those two clips where her feet aren't visible, I was kind of guessing it. But then I realized her, like, as she's walking, her shoulders do this kind of sway thing. So that's kind of how I continued lining up one single walking animation while the background just changes. So yeah, each of these clips is like, I think 1.4 seconds long. That effect looks pretty simple, but it took me a while to edit, I'll be honest. So in the beginning, as for the TikTok style video, I left that for last because I know I'd have to edit that in After Effects. I don't like using After Effects. It's kind of a catch-22. I don't like using it because I'm not good at it, and in order to get better at it, I have to use it. But I know it would take me a while, so I just left that last. I said I'll edit the entire video and then I will do the TikTok style montage last, where there's a slow motion effect that I like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll just put some examples examples on screen right now. It's supposed to be a 30-second montage of just, you know, a bunch of cool moments like this, where the Asher War I like to use is the one where you like disappear and teleport. There's an entire folder on my desktop full of boss fights with like little cool moments like that where I dodge at the last second, and you know, it looks pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, I'll just throw a bunch of these in a 30-second montage. That was supposed to be after the intro of the video, but before the pre-Elden Ring part. And when you beat Gideon, spoiler alert, you fight him, you know how all the bosses kind of do this little monologue as they're talking? Yeah, his monologue, I think he says something like, I know it in my bones. A tarnished could never be Elden Lord. A man cannot kill a god, not even you. I was gonna cut out the last part of that monologue, a man can't kill a god, not even you, and then cut into, you know, the montage with cool moments like this, with the Elden Ring theme playing in the background. But the reason I left that for last is, for the effects you're seeing in those TikTok videos, they are not just slowing the video down. If you slow the video down by like 100%, it's gonna look super choppy and blurry. It doesn't look good. So it took me a while to find the effect. It's called speed ramping, and that's actually one of the things I posted on Twitter. I found out how to do speed ramping. It you can slow down the video by a lot and it still looks clear, and it kind of has this almost liquid effect to it. It looks really good. But it's time consuming. It's not hard, it's just time consuming. And I would have to do that for every single clip and match, you know, every time I hit a boss to a beat in the music. Again, not hard to do, but just time consuming. And to do that in After Effects, I decided to leave that to last. But that got cut because I have ADHD. If you don't get what I mean by that is, I can't do anything for long enough. Like, if I keep doing the same thing over and over and over, I lose interest. And I didn't think that that would happen for this video because, well, I only edit, you know, 10-minute videos. I've never worked on a video this long before. And this video is 40 minutes long. And when I got to, like, editing the last 10 minutes, between 30 and 40, I opened this document one day and I was just like, I don't feel like editing this anymore. And that was just kind of like, oh shit, it's happening. Meaning I'm losing interest in this, and it's a ticking time bomb before I open this document and just be like, I don't feel anything towards it, and I'm not going to want to edit it anymore, and I know I won't put up the video. So I was kind of racing against time, basically racing against myself, losing interest in the video. So the last 10 minutes of the video is kind of, editing wise, I don't want to say as good as the beginning, but in my opinion, the quality kind of dipped coming on to the end. And that was why the TikTok montage got cut, because I left that to the end, and by the time I got there, I was losing interest. So it was either finish the video or try to edit that one montage that will take me I don't know how long. So I chose the safer option, which was to just cut it. I lost my train of thought again. God damn it. The thumbnail was actually the first thing that got worked on for this video. I drew this reference for my thumbnail artist. It was supposed to be a power pose, I guess. I should have sent her the reference of where I found it. It was like from an anime. And I'm not gonna lie, she kind of fought me a little bit for the pose, and you know, she was just like, hey, I suggest these poses, and she was just like drawing out different poses, and I was just like, I don't know, I kind of want the original pose that I gave you though. And I don't know, she was pushing really hard for this one pose, and the reason I agreed to it is because I do graphic design, and I suggest stuff to clients and they fight me for it, but that's because they can't see the end result that I have in my head. So because I'm aware of that, I was just like, okay, maybe that's what's happening, but this time the roles are reversed. I'm the client. So I decided to trust her and her vision, and I'm glad I did, because this thumbnail came out way better than what I originally had in my mind. I'll leave a link to her her Twitter in the description down below. If you just, Jesus, there's so many things in the description. I'll leave a link to her Twitter account in the description if you want to follow her for art. So the reason that my samurai actually has this face, the face mask, is that's from Ghost of Tsushima. That's in one of the references that I gave her. It's not in the game. I actually don't like the samurai mask in the game at all. I think it looks kind of weird. I love half mask, and the only half mask in the game is the cloth one. So I decided, you know, if I don't have one in game, then I'll try to find a way to get one, and the way to do that was through the thumbnail. So I just put that there, and again, she drew everything better than I had pictured in my mind. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of it for the other stuff, so we can get into the writing now, unless I remember something else. It took me 2 months to write this video. 3 and a half-ish months total working on it, but it took 2 months to write it. Because there were so many things I want to talk about. So the video is 40 minutes, but it was originally 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I wasn't happy with that, one, because I've never edited a video that long. I'm not going to go from editing 10 minutes to 1 hour and 10. I knew I wasn't going to finish that, and I'm glad I chose to cut a lot of content, because I struggled to finish it even at 40 minutes. Jesus, what was I talking about? This is terrible. Yeah, right. So, so the reason this took me 2 months to write is, well, yeah, there were a lot of things I want to talk about, but mainly I have a lot of trouble articulating myself. As good as I am at understanding English, it's, I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or not, but there's so many thoughts going on up here. It's kind of hard to just pull stuff out and say it in a coherent way that makes sense to other people. It's kind of hard to do that when your brain is moving at like 1,000 miles a minute. After giving it to my sister to read, because she does like screenwriting for movies and stuff, she was pretty much just like, I have too much context. I guess that's my issue when writing, because again, I struggle to explain myself. I like to give a lot of context. And I pretty much had too much context, and my fear was I don't give enough context in the beginning, and the viewers don't really understand the middle and end of the video, because a lot of my context in the beginning kind of sets up the rest of the video. The other issue is that you include too much context, you don't get to the point, then people lose interest. So I guess it's more so of a pacing issue. Yeah, I would say that's it. It was more of a pacing issue. I was really concerned about keeping people's attention during this video. So the entire beginning got rewritten like 3 times. Also, my GPU died while working on this video, so that delayed it by a week till I could find a replacement. And then some life stuff was happening, and I stopped working on the video for like a month, because I guess it's kind of like a passion project. It's hard to write a video for a game based on how I feel, and at that point in time, I was feeling a bunch of not good feelings, a bunch of negative shit. I'm not gonna lie, I was in a little bit of a depressive slump because of some life stuff going on. So that made it really hard for me to write this video and to, I guess, pull out those feelings of how I feel about the game. Basically, that made it really hard to do, so I stopped working on it for a month. Yeah, I cut out a lot of paragraphs in the beginning, and also the part about me talking about the different games that set me up to be able to be Elden Ring. There were pretty much like, I think 2 or 3 paragraphs per game. and even though I cut a lot of those paragraphs, I still think that section of the video went on a little bit too long. I'll be honest, that was the section I was concerned about the most throughout the entire video. I don't think it was as interesting as the you know, before and after that part, but it was necessary for context reasons, so I left it in the video. I was considering cutting that out, that entire 10-minute segment. I think that's like chapter 6 before the epilogue. I was considering cutting that entire chapter, so the video would just be 30 minutes. But in the end, I'm kind of glad I left it in. I think it works well for pacing. You know, whether it's movies, games, or whatever, I think everything should have, you know, kind of like an ebb and a flow. If it's how it was in the beginning when I first wrote it, where it was just a bunch of downtime, I lost people, and if I cut out a lot of the down parts, it was constantly up here. I also think that's an issue. So yeah, I think I kind of found the right balance when it came to writing the video. I've started working on the next one, actually. So yeah, as I was writing this video, I actually had the thumbnail that she gave me pulled up on the second screen. It did help in writing. That thumbnail, I think, captures the essence of what I was going for, and my character looks pretty good. And I guess the last kind of behind the scenes weird thing is, for as serious as this video is, when I was writing it, like I wrote 2 chapters. I was just listening to Taylor Swift. I don't normally listen to Taylor Swift, but it what's the song called? Bad Blood came on Spotify, and I was just like, fuck it, sure. And I just listened to that on loop for like an hour while writing 2 chapters for this video, and then I switched to Shake It by Metro Station, and then I finished the video while listening to that on loop for an hour. So yeah, that's kind of you know, what happened behind the scenes of this video. I don't really know how to end these still, even though I've been doing this for like 6+ years. But I don't know, if you enjoyed that video, thanks for watching, and thanks for watching this as well. Like I said, I already started working on the next video. I'm hoping that it won't be 40 minutes long, but because of the subject, I think it will be, unfortunately. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next Facecam video, which will be, I don't know when, but yeah, see ya.